Today we're gonna do something interesting. If you have been following my channel, you know that I've always talked about using Gutenberg Blocks instead of page builders like Elementor, Breezy or Beaver Builder, and I've always said that page builders will slow down your website. But the thing is, there's so many Gutenberg Block plugins to use, and in this video right here, which you can watch later, the link is in the description as well, I've shared 11 of those block plugins, and if you read the comments, you'll find a few more of those. But some block plugins have these unique features that others don't, and most of the time to utilize those features, we need to install multiple block plugins. So the question is, will multiple Gutenberg Block plugins slow down your website? You know, right, there's an old saying that the more plugins you install on your site, the slower your site is gonna be. But this is Gutenberg Blocks. I'm pretty sure there are some exceptions, right? So in this video, we're gonna test that theory, and honestly, while recording this video, I don't even know what the outcome is gonna be. So we'll discover it together. So let's go. Hey, this is Jack, and if this is your first time watching a video from my channel, I share lots of WordPress tips and tutorials as well as affiliate marketing content. So if you want to learn any of these topics, then subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. My only goal is to share with you ways to save lots of money for your online business using WordPress. I don't use page builders, and site speed is my main focus. So if you're running an online business and you're paying hundreds of dollars to make your website work, subscribe and you'll become a money saving expert for your online business. So before we get into the experiment, I hope you can do me a little favor and smash that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate that, and thank you. So here's what we are going to do. We will have two different websites side by side. Both are hosted on the same server and both are installed with the same themes and plugins. They are completely new websites, so they are basically identical. Now this is how they look right now. It is installed with the default WordPress theme. So on the left will be our benchmark and on the right will be our test subject. What we are going to do is, for our benchmark, we are only going to install one block plugin, and for every new plugin we are going to add on a test subject, we will add a button element to the page for the benchmark. The same thing goes for the test subject. Every new block plugin we add, we're going to add a button element from the new plugin, and we're going to make the button look the same as the one on the benchmark. We're going to stack one plugin on top of the other, and each time we do that, we'll do a speed test on both the benchmark and the test subject. The tools we're going to use for the speed test are the Google PageSpeed Insights, Pingdom Tools, and GT Metrics. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. I know it's a little geeky, but all we are trying to do is to see if there are any impact on the page speed if we use multiple Gutenberg Block plugins to build a web page. And if there are no impact, we're going to keep adding new block plugins and stress test it till we find which is the sweet spot. Meaning how many block plugins you can install on your site till it affects the site speed. And that's what we're trying to find out. But before that, let me show you the baseline first. Let's see if these two websites are hosted on the same server, and to do that we'll use a site called whoishostingthis.com. So let's do a search on both websites. So as you can see, they are both hosted on SiteGround, and these are the name servers for the Grow Big plan. So now let's go behind the scenes. Let's go to the WordPress dashboard of both sites and let's go to the themes. So the only theme that is installed on both websites is the 2021 theme. And let's go to the plugins. So there are no plugins installed right now. Let us install the first Gutenberg Block plugin, which is the Cadence Blocks. So now that we know the benchmark and the test subject are on equal grounds, let's start with creating a new page. And let's add a button from Cadence Blocks. So let's publish this. Let's copy this link. Go to Google PageSpeed Insights and analyze. Both should have the same results. So as you can see, results are basically identical. Let's go to Pingdom Tools. Let's ensure the test location is the same. And let's start the test. So they are basically identical as you can see. Now let's go to GT Metrics. So cool, everything are on equal grounds. Now let's go to test number 1, adding the second block plugin. So on our benchmark, we will add another button. And let's update this. And on our test subject, let's open up a new tab. Let's add new. Let's search for a plugin called Get With. Let's install this. Activate. Now let's go to the page and refresh. And browse all. Let's go to Get With. And add a button. So that's button number 2 from Get With. Let's update this. And now let's go to Google PageSpeed Insights. So there are basically not much difference when it comes to Google PageSpeed Insights. Let's go to Pingdom Tools. So again, not much difference. Let's go to GT Metrics. So cool, having one extra plugin doesn't make much difference. So now let's go to test number 2, adding the third block plugin. So similarly, first thing we do is to go to the benchmark page and add another button. And let's update this. Next, on our test subject, let's go to plugins. Let's add new and search for Atomic Blocks. And this is the one. Let's install this and activate. So let's go to the page and refresh. Now let's add the third button from Atomic Blocks. So we can't customize much for this button, so we'll leave it as it is. Let's update. And now let's do the speed test on Google PageSpeed Insights. Now there are not much difference, but we can see that the speed index has increased a little for our test subject, and there is a little blocking time here. Otherwise, there is not much impact when installing the third plugin. Let's go to Pingdom. So there are not much difference on Pingdom. Now let's go to GT Metrics. So there is not much difference as well. So let's do plugin number 4. Same thing, let's go to the page, add a new button, update, and on our test subject, let's add a new plugin. This time we will search for Author Blocks. Let's install. And then on our page, let's refresh and add a new button. So here we go, this is our 4th button from Author Blocks. Let's update and let's go to Google PageSpeed Insights. Now it is weird. Upon adding the 4th block plugin, it seems that the speed is much faster than having one block plugin. Isn't that weird? But otherwise there isn't much difference. So let's go to Pingdom Tools. So there is still not much difference even adding the 4th plugin. And let's go to GT Metrics. There is not much difference as well. So let's go to plugin number 5. Let's go to add a new button. Let's go to our test subject and add a new plugin. Let's search for Gutenberg Blocks. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 plugins. Let's go to the page, refresh, and add a new button. So let's update this and go to Google PageSpeed Insights. So again, no difference at all. Now let's go to Pingdom Tools. So honestly, there is really not much difference. Let's go to GT Metrics. Again, not much difference. In fact, this is loading a little faster. and the page request didn't increase. So let's continue to add new plugins. Now let's go to the benchmark page, add a new button, update, and let's do the same thing. Let's add new. This time round, let's search for Publish Press. So this is the one. Let's install and activate. Okay, so there's a total of 6 plugins installed. Let's go to our page, refresh. Let's add a button from Publish Press. Okay, that's button number 6 from Publish Press. Let's update and let's go to Google PageSpeed Insights. So there is not much difference, but for the speed index here, there is an added 0.1 seconds and there's a 10 milliseconds added here to the blocking time. So let's go to Pingdom. In fact, the test subject is loading a little faster than the benchmark, so I'm quite surprised about this. And as you can see, there is not much difference here as well. So now I'm actually quite impressed by the Gutenberg Blocks. So no matter how many block plugins you add, I don't think it actually slows down your website, but my guess is the elements you select that may slow down the website. It's not the number of plugins, because the button element is definitely lightweight. So if you choose a block that requires JavaScript, maybe it's the slider, it might slow down your website. So now I won't bore you with further testing, I think we have got an answer already. But let me fast forward this process 2 more times, and if we see no notable difference, we will conclude the test. So there we have it. We have installed 8 block plugins and used each of their button element on the same page, but it does not affect page speed. So we have a clear answer that multiple Gutenberg block plugins will not cause any page to slow down. And let me share with you something that is not captured on the screen. The more block plugins you install on your site, though it does not cause the page to slow down on the speed tester tools, it does somehow affect a little bit on the loading speed of your WordPress editor. So I recommend that if you need multiple block plugins to design your site, you should have 2 block plugins or a maximum of 3 just to be safe. Now there is one question I've been dying to know, and that is, which specific Gutenberg block will actually cause a web page to slow down? Because as you know, every block in a plugin is created differently. A button may not slow down a site, but a slider block from the same plugin may slow down a site, and I've been dying to know which are the ones. So if you want to know the answer as well, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification, because I'll be doing an experiment on this topic in coming videos. And I hope to get a thumbs up from you for this video, and please share with me your thoughts on this topic as well. What were your expectations, and are you now comfortable using multiple block plugins? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you on my other videos.